Welcome to the University of Florida Levin College of Law and Advanced Discovery webinar to talk about the experience of a University of Florida student, Stephanie McNeff, working for Advanced Discovery as an intern this summer. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, Bill.
With me today, I have Stephanie McNeff. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
And Brandi Walkowiak. Brandi is the senior, professional support supervisor, if I have your title right, Brandi Walkowiak. Is that correct?
Yes, the Director of Professional Services here in our Detroit office. Good to be here. Thank you.
Great. And with me also is Canaan Himmelbaum. Canaan is a Gator alumnus and also, a Vice President of Business Development for Advanced Discovery.
That's correct. Go Gators. Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you too, Canaan. Canaan, you're the creator in many ways of this program. You and I put it together a little while back. How did this kind of come about? What was the source of your inspiration here?
Yeah, sure. Well, first and foremost, Brandi and last summer, Emily Small were great assistants in getting this thing going forward and actually being the AD representatives overseeing the interns. But last summer, we spoke about trying to do an externship for UF students. I myself was a lawyer for many years, went to UF Law School and practiced law in-house and as a outside lawyer in private practice. And then I have been in the e-discovery industry for almost 7 years in business development. So I thought it'd be great to give the students an opportunity to learn about e-discovery as they went out into the world of law.
That's great. Brandi, this kind of fell on your shoulders. You all of a sudden you're kind of working away, doing things that normally you're wonderfully competent, exciting self. And Canaan approaches you and says, hey, I've got this wonderful U.S. student to work with. How did you respond to that?
I thought it was a really great idea. It wasn't something that had occurred to me to do before, but when Canaan came to me with the idea, I thought, this is an excellent idea because I know a lot of law students don't, in their traditional law school curriculum, they don't necessarily see this sort of practical hands-on e-discovery side of things. And discovery is such a big part of what litigators do on a daily basis. So I thought it was great. And I just thought as long as we can make it fun for the intern and at the same time really give her a broad range of sort of substantive and educational experience, then, we'd have the right idea.
Great. Of course, let me put in a plug for the University of Florida Levin College of Law. We do teach e-discovery. We have both a basic course with hands-on experience and an advanced course with more intense hands-on experience. Stephanie,
Yeah.
How did you end up in the hands of Advanced Discovery? This seems like a circuitous route from Gainesville, Florida. I think you're in Detroit now.
I am. Very different for sure. Yeah, but I had heard a little bit about e-discovery on campus. It's obviously not a huge thing, but I was definitely curious. And taking an internet law class last semester, I got a little bit more experience with e-discovery, and I was really interested, especially because it is something that is growing and it's so important in litigation. So, when Canaan came to campus, I more than happily took an interview, and luckily he chose me, and this has been a great experience.
Well, what surprised you the most about your work at Advanced Discovery?
I have to say one thing going into it is I didn't expect to have a ton of substantive law. But I was really surprised at how much there really is. I've been on a ton of training calls, which is really where the reviewers come and get familiar with the case so that they can look at documents. And in all those, I've been really exposed to the different areas of law and how it pertains to a particular case.
Well, Brandi and Canaan, you've spent a lot of time putting together this program for Stephanie. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what you were trying to accomplish and what kind of exposure you were trying to provide to her? Canaan? Yeah,
so we just wanted her to come to Detroit and have fun. That's it.
Okay.
If she wanted to about e-discovery, great. So it's what Brandi said. Luckily you, Professor Hamilton, have the course there at school. A lot of schools don't. But even if a student did not take your course, our objective was to, have them dive into the world of e-discovery from the review side, but also Brandi did a great job of introducing Stephanie to our forensics team, relativity, the tool, some of the documentation that goes into the process, and then reviewing certain case law. So I'll leave it to Brandi to talk more about what actually happened this summer, but we built it out so that she could have a substantive experience. And as an intern, our hope is that if she wanted to come back to us, that we would have the capability to offer her a job to be a part of our team.
Brandi.
Absolutely, Canaan. So one of the things I thought was really important is to really expose Stephanie to the whole spectrum of e-discovery. Advanced Discovery is a full service e-discovery provider. We have end-to-end e-discovery services. So even though she's in my group, which is focused on the document review and the substantive piece, liaison in with the clients and the counsel on a particular case, I wanted her to see what all the other departments do as well. And so she got to meet and work with our forensics folks who do all the collecting, everything from collecting from an iPhone to IM messages to web servers, wherever the data lives for a particular litigation. And she went across the spectrum to, talk to our ESI folks and how does data even get processed? How does it even go into this thing called relativity, and what does that mean? And how do attorneys leverage relativity? And whether you start your career in an e-discovery provider or at a law firm, you're definitely going to be working in a software platform and likely relativity, coding the documents and sort of spotting issues for your case, and then capturing the lawyer's thoughts and impressions in that relativity system. So I thought that would be useful no matter where Stephanie ends up. Hopefully, maybe she'll consider coming to the e-discovery provider like us. But regardless of where she ends up, these are tools that she can take with her wherever she goes in her career.
Yeah, Stephanie, did you get the feeling and believe during this process that, wow, I'm learning something that's going to carry me forward and maybe even create a career path for yourself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I speak to my friends right now who are in law firms and doing summer internships, and they have no idea what relativity is or what even happens. They're just like, they get the end game and they're like, this is what we do with it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's helpful to understand how you got there. And I think what really surprised me too was, the search terms that we learn using Westlaw and Lexis, like that's how you create searches here. And I think understanding that and realizing that that's how the documents you're looking at, that's how that came about. It really helps understand where to go from. And I think that's really cool.
Did you have any favorite moments from the summer, Stephanie?
Oh, man. Quite a few, I think. One thing that I really liked in particular is we had a trademark issue, and I'm really into intellectual property. And so last summer, I worked on a judge's side for a trademark issue. I took trademark law as a semester class, and now I got to see a trademark issue on the review side. So I really got to see something I'm interested in a whole broad spectrum of areas, and I thought that was really cool to me.
That's great. E-discovery in many ways is a collaborative activity, which is one of the things I like about it a lot, is you're working with people collaboratively to get a project done. So let me throw you a softball. Was it terrible working with Brandi? Is she?
Absolutely never again. No. She is so amazing. She's so busy, but she manages to care about everyone. It's insane. I want to be like her.
Yeah. And Bill, I'll add to that. I love them both. They're amazing. They're amazing people. We're happy that Stephanie came on board, and we never know. I mean, after a 20-minute interview, I thought she was great, but we never knew what we were going to get. So, I think back to you, Stephanie, as well. It was great I didn't get enough time with you, but I know Brandi did, and George and Stephanie. But, also one of the things, Bill, that I thought was great is that Stephanie got to see some of the largest litigations in the United States. And obviously can't talk about them for confidentiality reasons, but she got to meet some very, very high-level AmLaw 20 lawyers and got to meet some great people along the way of the summer. So I thought that would be helpful as well for her to see.
Yeah, and I really just want to add that Stephanie has done such a great job. I, like Canaan, didn't know what I was going to expect out of an intern, and especially I hadn't even had a chance to meet Stephanie before she joined. And what was really wonderful for us is she has really added a lot of value to the team. We're really going to miss her, actually, when she leaves. She really stepped in, and she really helped us in getting projects ramped up. I mean, everything from helping draft confidentiality and non-disclosure agreements that the review teams are responsible for signing, to maintain and protect information, helping with the training, answering reviewers' questions, and as Canaan pointed out, really getting to meet in person and by phone a lot of our clients. And all of our clients are AmLaw 100 firms and top corporations, names that you'd all be familiar with. So I think it was a great synergy between us really getting a benefit of having her intelligence and her motivation here on site, and us hopefully teaching her a little something along the way.
Well, Stephanie, it sounds like you've done a great job representing the University of Florida Law School. It was a fun summer for you too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually going to go check out Canada this weekend. Just across the river.
All right, that's great. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us and sharing your experience. Brandi, thank you so much for helping with this program and building this relationship between University of Florida Law School.
My pleasure, and I hope you'll think of us again next summer. If you have interested students, we would love to meet them.
Well, Canaan, I'm counting on you to carry this project forward.
I'll be there. You give me an opportunity to come back to Gainesville at least once a year, so I appreciate that. Stephanie, happy birthday next week. Really, you did a great job, and we'll certainly be talking more about what the future looks like.
Okay, thank you all very much. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.